Hey guys, welcome back. We've just done videos 3 and 4 from the Vengeance Saga. That's Charybdis and Get in the Water. Woo! Pretty intense couple of songs. Really enjoyed watching them for the first time and breaking them down musically. So guys, please sit back, relax, and enjoy. And I'll see you afterwards.
Must be who Hermes mentioned. A monster here to block my way. I'd like to hurry up and end this. So if you don't have much to say, then oh.
What are we in 10-8? Yeah, 10-8 here from Jay. I think we're in 10-8 or 5-8. Pretty cool. Pretty cool rhythm. Nice driving rhythm. Chaos here in the beginning as we approach the Charybdis whirlpool monster worm thing. There was like a crazy piano motif that came in for a second. Obviously we've got some drums and guitars happening. I gotta run that back in. We also have this cool like string build into this first section where the strings just like slide their way up into the opening here. Horror movie. Yeah, we've got some big brass strikes, and like sounding like triplet, big brass strikes. We have that one piano motif which kind of comes and like runs away, and of course we've got some drums and guitars and everything laying out this absolutely chaotic foundation, which, given what's happening in the story, makes a lot of sense. I figured this would be pretty chaotic.
You must be who Hermes mentioned. A monster here to block my way. I'd like to hurry up and end this. So if you don't have much to say.
So we have B flat. So I think we were just in B flat with Hermes a moment ago for Dangerous. I think we started at least in B flat minor. Do 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 do. Yeah, so I believe B flat minor again, navigating around these minor scales. We're getting a lot of these, you know, major 6, major 7s, the 4s. Hopefully we'll get an Aeolian cadence in there somewhere because that's my favorite. And all, you know, really being highlighted most prominently by this heavy guitar, these heavy guitar chords.
You must be who Hermes mentioned. A monster here to block my way. I'd like to hurry up and end this. So if you don't have much to say, then oh.
Proper like rock drum kit where it's like kind of big room sound, right? It doesn't really sound like small studio. It's like big space, which, you know, around the open ocean. I think that fits the vibe pretty well. And then like proper rock metal guitars too, with all that distortion happening on it. Otherwise, there's not a whole lot going on. There's like a little bit of atmospheric stuff happening, but it's mostly Odie vocals, rock drums, rock guitar, and that's pretty much it right now. Pretty simple after that chaotic intro.
Oh, bring it. If you don't have much to say, then oh, bring it on. I'm not dying here, I'm still fighting here. I'm holding on till I see it through, till I've beaten you.
Some nice clean belting from Odie. Now, given the rock and metal sounding elements elsewhere, I would not be surprised if we get some grit from him at some point in the song. But right now, his vocals are very clean, pure tone. Up to high A flat, I believe, A flat 4 for tenor voice. Yeah, I think it could use some grit if we're gonna really go for truly the rock metal feel here. And there's still a long way to go in that direction as well. Right now, it's more just like some of the elements of it, but the intensity of like a metal song, we're not there yet. We'll see where it goes.
I see it through till I've beaten you.
It's messy, right? There's a lot of things happening. I mean, it kind of does invoke like the chaos of a whirlpool in a way, where like all the sound elements aren't totally like crystal clear, which I assume is intentional on the side of the mixing engineering, because it sounds messy and chaotic. Like the whole thing itself sounds messy and chaotic. Got some weird like alien sounds. Could sound like it's like a whale or something. I don't know how they're gonna give Charybdis a sound, but you hear that like kind of like moan coming from the whirlpool, I assume. Yeah.
I already know your tactics. When you swallow, you attack with whirlpools that attract prey. But I see a disadvantage, cause I don't even have to kill you. I just have to avoid you. See if you don't spit it out soon, all that water will destroy you. Oh, bring it on.
Okay, so quick second verse and back into our second chorus here. So far looking like pretty A-B as far as the structure of the song. I'm sure we'll get a bridge somewhere in there, but it also is a relatively short song, right? 2:29 compared to some of the longer ones in the show. This is a pretty short one.
A disadvantage, cause I don't even have to kill you. I just have to avoid you. See if you don't spit it out soon, all that water will destroy you.
It's like very speech heavy too. I mean, like Odie's really yapping at this whirlpool monster. Not quite to the point of like rapping, but it is very speech like, hearkening back to all the things I've said about musical theater being more speech oriented, you know, trying to convey speech rhythms really accurately. And we're getting that here to a level. It's a nice balance of the speech and singing happening at the same time, because obviously there's pitch. He's being very accurate with pitch, but the delivery and the timbre, it's got a natural kind of feel to it, like he's really talking at this thing.
Fools that attract prey, but I see a disadvantage, cause I don't even have to kill you. I just have to avoid you. See if you don't spit it out soon, all that water will destroy you. Oh, bring it on, till you're out of breath, till there's nothing left. I'm holding on, till
You hear his resonance shift actually up higher in his head, so he's gone over his second passaggio, getting up to that high A flat, which is absolutely how it needs to be navigated. You're not going to want to sing that high A flat without navigating that, unless you're on probably a more open vowel, like a proper belt vowel. Oh, and you can hear his voice, what we call turn over, as it goes up to that high A flat, and the resonance shifts. He doesn't go out of chest voice. It's not a registration thing. It's a resonance thing. It's a resonance strategy thing.
nothing left. I'm holding on.
We would call that a hook, actually, in opera. Oh, sometimes you'll sing a note right below the note you want to sing and hook up into it. Tenors do it all the time. There's a funny thing we say in opera called hook, push, and pray when you're like desperately trying to hit a high note. So you just hook it and then you push it and you squeeze and you just hope the note comes out. That's not what he's doing here. This is a hook where you kind of sing the note below it and hook up into the note.
Till there's nothing left. I'm holding on, till I'm in the clear, till I'm out of here. Oh.
There's that high B flat. I hadn't heard a high B flat from Odie in a while, but we do love a high B flat from Odie. We've gotten a good chunk of them throughout the series.
Till I'm out of here. Oh.
And really nice vocal fold closure up there. Very pure tone. You know, that's really stretching those TA muscles, those thyroarytenoids, really stretching that chest register all the way up to the brink. I think this is very close to as high as Jay can sing, truly staying in proper chest voice.
I'm in the clear, till I'm out of here. Oh.
I mean, it's so chaotic and like muddy and messy. This whole thing is like, there are these monstrous drums happening, but you really don't feel any punch from them because they're just getting completely lost in the chaos of it. Again, I have to assume this is intentional. There's so much happening and nothing's really at the forefront of it aside from Odie's voice. So you've got the guitars and the weird piano motifs and the strings and the brass and the war-like drums all like evenly placed instead of really prioritizing one or the other. This is all from a mixing engineering, audio engineering perspective. So the balance is odd. I mean, it's like it's all Odie's voice in the front and then just everything else happening background. But again, I do think that is nicely representative of the chaos that Odie's facing in this moment. It's madness.
There, I see it. The island I've been searching for. Home.
Oh, shit.
My wife and son are past these shores. Home.
Dang, Ithaca on the horizon. So Charybdis was mad short. That was like minute 20. Minute 20 of the Charybdis battle. And I guess he ends up somewhere. Well, actually, I don't know. This is the animatic, so it's not definitely telling the story of what's happening. But I like to follow the animatic. I like to think they're all doing an absolutely killer job.
I see it.
Oh, no. He's chilling on his raft. Just kidding. Totally misspoke. Chilling on the raft, looking at Ithaca. Right on. Lemon Poet. At the beginning, I was like, Mason, hopefully I remember to say it this time. Lemon Poet. Shout out to the animator. Bravo, brava.
I see it. The island I've been searching for. Home. I've reached it. My wife and son are past these shores. Holding on. I am almost there. My love, don't be scared. Hold on. I am on my way. I'll be there today.
I really like that. Repurposing the super intense vocal line from the Charybdis showdown to a totally different context. That's really cool. I guess now he's talking towards Penelope. I don't think he was talking to Penelope earlier. If he was, then I totally missed that in the chaos. But I think this is a repurposing of the text to mean something totally different, which is really nice. And of course, all of you noticed this. All the chaotic instrumentation and everything completely went away as soon as he got through and then saw Ithaca. We went back to like this nice, very mellowed out guitar sound. Pretty much just that and Odie's voice until he repeats, and then a little bit more foundation comes in. But it's all so stripped down. Of course, now, with so many fewer elements, now everything's quite clear. The whole first minute and a half was a mess, just like absolute musical chaos. And there were so many elements all packed into one thing. All like no one thing giving space to the other except for Odie's voice. And now we get everything's calm. We hear all the elements clearly. It's like a nice palate cleanser after that. Still, that top goes into a new register. I'm not going to demonstrate at that high in chest voice right now. I would destroy myself in this microphone. But when Jay goes up into that high flat, that is just a very clear register shift over his secondo passaggio, as we would say in opera in Italian, or the second passage of the voice, which is different for male and female, biological male and female singers, which is really interesting. There's a whole lot of interesting biology and physiology around that thing that I won't go into right now, but he's shifting his voice. Boom, TLDR.
Don't be scared. Hold on. I am on my way. I'll be there today. Penelope.
Yeah.
What? No!
Oh boy, what are we about to get into next? I do like the Transformers dubsteppy synth that just came in. Big fan. You guys know that by now. Big fan of that. Big fan of that stuff. All right, I will see you back momentarily for Get in the Water. See you in a second. Hi everyone, if you're here, you probably just watched my first time reaction and analysis of Charybdis, and now we are on to Get in the Water, the fourth song from the Vengeance Saga of Epic the Musical. this animatic is by Messy Moon Mess. Of course, it's written by Jorge Rivera Herranz. Let's do it. Yes. Oh, Poseidon coming back.
There you are, coward. I've been...
Yeah. I like the soundscapes a lot. I like to hear Jay, like, continuing to experiment as he goes on throughout the show, because there are a number of things where there's a lot of themes being recycled. There's a lot of things we've heard before in a different way. So I like it when we get something new and novel this far into the show. For me, that's very exciting as a analyzer and as a songwriter, you know, keeping things interesting as it goes throughout. It's probably, close to 2 hours by the end of Ithaca Saga, probably close to 2 hours for the whole show. So it's a lot of music to write, you know? It's a lot of music to write, and it's hard to keep it fresh. And if you've done something that works, it's hard not to keep reusing that. So we've seen some of that, but it's nice to see him continuing to be novel. And I'm loving the sound design. This is very cool, very dark, and Poseidon back, aka Wet Hades.
There you are, coward.
There's a lot of like cinematic, like trailer type designs. You've got these, you've got like big risers, downshifters. You've got impact booms. Things are cutting out so the line can come in. This sounds a lot like how you write for a movie trailer. And I have a number of friends that write for movie trailers, big movie trailers, video games. And this is the kind of, it's not exactly the same, but this is the kind of style Jay is leaning towards with this song so far.
Coward. I've been waiting for this moment, for the perfect time to strike. When you're home so close and you've reached your coast, that's when our paths collide.
This is going to be Steven Rodriguez, our Poseidon. The uniqueness of his voice really comes in with that grit. It's a really interesting kind of grit in the voice when he invokes it. It's really, really cool.
Perfect time to strike. When you're home so close and you've reached your coast, that's when our paths collide. I've got a reputation, I've got a name to uphold, so I can't go letting you walk, or else the world forgets I'm cold. Now get in the water.
I love this low frequency drum kick we get, which really feels like a heartbeat, just like, which makes a lot of sense. Really cool, really nice. And also, you know, this song, how it's being delivered and the tempo is so different from Ruthlessness. It's like the vocals it's a similar approach to the vocals actually, but with a totally different tempo, different vibe to the whole song. Like Ruthlessness was all like in your face, and this is much more like, this is a much more laid back, a quiet intensity is what I would say, a quiet intensity about it.
Name to uphold, so I can't go letting you walk, or else.
Of course, I say quiet intensity right before he belts his loudest notes. Very nice.
Name to uphold, so I can't go letting you walk, or else the world forgets I'm cold. Now get in the water. Get in the water.
Get in the water.
Or I'll raise the tide so high, all of Ithaca will die. Get in the water. Wait. Get in the water. Stop.
So interesting how little is happening right now. There's, again, we've got soundscape in the background. Pretty much that. It's really soundscape. It's not super melodic. It's just get in the water and then soundscape. Again, it's more like a trailer where sometimes movie trailer music is not super melodic. It's usually like really, it's more intense than this, right? Like big war drums, big booms. It's gotta really hook your attention for a couple minutes. But this is cool. Again, like I was saying at the start of this is a new thing that I've heard from this show. It's a little bit like some of what we heard in the second saga, the Cyclops saga, some of the darker, less melodic, more sound designy themes. But this is different. This is new, and that's awesome to see this late in the game.
Wait. Get in the water. Stop this, please. I'll make tidal waves so profound. Both your wife and your son will drown. No! Get in the water! Get in the water! Don't mistake my threat for blood.
Really slow changes in chords. I mean, you got do twice and then do. And I can't remember if he's going to go to Aeolian cadence or not, but really slow chord progression. Right. Again, so much of this is just atmospheric. There's some melodic thing, like we can feel what the chords are doing enough, but overall, it's much more based on like sound effect and sound design. It's really cool.
Don't mistake my threat for bluff. You have lived more than enough. Get in the water.
Yeah, so we just have one minor, D minor. So D minor, then we have B flat major, and then A. I think it's going to A minor, which would be the 5 of the D minor chord. I personally like to throw a major in there to use the harmonic minor. I believe it's called, or melodic minor. Melodic minor. Harmonic minor. Melodic minor. Can't remember. Raised 7th in a minor key. Because that leading tone leads nicely back to the 1. But yeah, really slow chord progression. We just got 1 minor, 6 major, and then 5 minor, I think.
You have lived more than enough. Get in the water. Get in the water. I'll take your son and gouge his eyes. That is unless you choose to die. Get in the water.
I think he's going to A major.
That is unless you choose to die. Get in the water. Aren't you tired, Poseidon? It's been 10 years. How long will this go? We're both hurting from losses, so why not leave this here and just go home?
Odie getting into that pleading style singing, and throughout the whole show, Jay has written that his vocal parts in that style, the pleading kind of begging style, he always invokes the falsetto. So all the way up to tenor high C, which we've heard him do like pretty big mix belting on, but here he's opting for much more, it's a kind of submissive kind of singing. Instead of like belting it and like being really intense and direct about it, it's a much more pleading. And I think the animatic is representing this nicely as well, where Odie's literally on his like hands and knees. It's like, can we please just let this go, dude? And we've both suffered enough. So really nice use of that particular vocal registration to invoke these feelings.
You tired, Poseidon? It's been 10 years. How long will this go? Losses, so why not leave this here and just go home? I can't. Maybe you could learn to forgive.
Trumpet was not the instrument I would have expected in this particular moment at all. That is a very interesting sound to add to this intimate moment. This like kind of piercing trumpet sound.
Leave this here and just go home. I can't.
Not a piercing trumpet sound, just a trumpet sound. But trumpets have a more piercing sound just because of the size of the instrument and how the sound goes through them. Would have thought more of like a French horn, maybe, if you're going to go with brass. More likely like a cello or something. But Maybe Poseidon, maybe brass is one of the motifs Odie's been using for Poseidon throughout the show. Maybe that's why. But the solo trumpet, not expecting that in this moment at all.
Maybe you could learn to forgive. No. Ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves. Die!
Ah, the freaky horse thing is back. All right, so we're getting a repeat of the material from Ruthlessness, but done in a different way, right? He's singing the lyrics over a longer time horizon than we heard in the original. So that's cool. But yeah, again, using a theme. I'm talking about that a lot. This in the last few sagas is the recycling of themes that Jay's done a lot, especially in the second half of the show. Pulling from material he's already written from the first half, both to, I think, to like connect the storyline and just to use good material that he's already written. Both songwriting tactics. And I like when he pulls something back and uses it in a different enough way to where it's almost like a cool cover of the song. Like he's doing a cool cover of his own song. And this is one way to do it. It's kind of like the Ruthlessness, but in like halftime. So that's pretty interesting.
No. Ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves. Die!
Full on yell, vocal folds blowing apart, tons of grit in the sound. So real. Real yell, baby. And octavized. There's an octave for sure lower, so we're getting a weird, like, morphed sound underneath that yell in addition to the yell. That's cool. The actual use of underwater sound effects in a concept album or in a musical. That's pretty cool. So it really is like you're really making sure the listener knows what's happening, right? And you're really trying to be clear about storytelling. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. All dead. All of them dead. Absolutely nuts. You know what also is still crazy to me is Polites was just not around very long. Everyone deeply impacted by Polites, but he was in like a few songs. Like he was around for a hot second. Eurylochus was around for most of the show, right? And then that ended tragically with Thunderbringer, if memory serves. Polites was not around very long, but had such a lasting impact on the community and the people paying attention to this story. This is a cool section, totally different from what we've heard, like the Odie going in the water after Poseidon dunked on him with a giant wave or whatever, represented a nice shift in everything, like thematic material, different, like the story's changing, the literal soundscape is completely changing. He's literally underwater. And so it's almost like we're getting two songs in one, like one 2.5 minute song and then, or 2 minute, 45 second song and another like kind of 1 minute song, which is cool. And we get this kind of like hearkening back, I guess, while Odie's basically dying in the water, he's having these memories.
You can relax, my friend. I can tell you're getting nervous.
Look at all we've lost and all we've learned.
this is like very like large foundation of sound. We've got strings, we've got synths, we've got some movement underneath, but it's not at the forefront of what's happening. But you do kind of feel it internally. And then of course the harmony, the voices in some number part harmony as well, and it's all kind of swelling and building. These were his boys, man. These were his brothers. 600 of them. Gone. Absolutely nuts. Oh. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in once again. I hope you enjoyed my first time reaction and analysis of both Charybdis and Get in the Water back to back, and we have one more to go in the Vengeance Saga. If you guys want to get early access to any of my epic content, please do consider joining my Patreon community. That's also just the best way to support me in general, and I will see you in the next epic video very soon. Bye-bye.